You could have the best camera, an amazing thumbnail, and some super professional editing, but if the topic isn't good, no one's gonna click on the video and the video's not gonna get any views. In today's episode, we're gonna be talking about which topics we feel have the most potential to get the most views in 2025. All right, welcome back to the Video Creator Show, everybody. My name is Augie Johnston. I'm here with my co-host, Grant Ball. And on this podcast, we talk about all things YouTube. And today we're talking about what I just said, the most important part of your video, which is the topic of your video. So if that is the most important part, then we should probably spend some more time thinking about good topics. And today we're going to give our opinion on which videos, topics that we think have the most potential to get the most views. So Grant, I'm just going to start naming these different kind of topics off. And they're not exact topics. They're kind of format / topics. But these are hopefully going to get our viewers, some inspiration, get the brainstorming going, and, maybe they'll try a new format that they've never tried before and have their next viral video. So the first one is challenge videos, Grant. What kind of potential do challenge videos have in getting views?
I'd say high potential. And they're a YouTube gold standard at this point. They do well. They are tried and true. And especially if you can be creative with it and come up with some kind of bold, crazy challenge, maybe it's a parkour challenge. Maybe you're backflipping over giant drop onto a tiny little platform, and maybe you die filming it, and maybe you don't. If you don't, you might get a lot of views. That's challenging. That actually is probably not what most people think of when they think of challenge videos. So what do you think is a good example of a challenge video? For the viewer, what are we imagining here for a challenge video? Besides a parkour challenge, I guess I'm also imagining, I traveled across the country with no money, right? That's a challenge video, right?
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that there's kind of two types of challenge videos, right? There's one where it's like multiple people in the video, they're competing for something. We're thinking, Mr. Beast, right? There's a challenge. They're all trying to complete it. Could be one person, but anyway, it's a competition, basically. The other challenge videos that I think you'll see on YouTube a lot are I lost 30 pounds in 30 days, here's how. Or I'm going to do X 30 days in a row, something like that. And those ones you don't need to include a lot of people. You just need to have some planning, right? So on day one, you got to shoot a little video. Oh, this is day one, and then, all your progress throughout. And that's the challenge, to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. I agree with you, Grant. I think these kind of videos are good. These are good. I mean, I think they're a little bit more challenging to make, and that'd probably be the only downside. What do you think, Grant?
I mean, I guess the hard part would be filming everything and going through all the footage and telling a cohesive story. Because I think what a lot of people don't realize with videos like that, where you're filming this long process, there's a lot to cut out. It's an art, not just to know what to show, but what not to show. Clients I work with when they're making videos like this, the hard part is always I think the initial drafts end up being too long or a bit too fluffy, and it usually takes a few tries to really get that storytelling feel down. So yeah, I think they are challenging to make for sure, but the potential is very high, and they're potentially fun to make. If you're enjoying the challenge, then I think you'll be down to take the extra time to tell the right story about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, most people, their YouTube channels, they're sitting in front of the camera, they're talking head, and they're not getting any views, right? They're like, why am I not? I've posted 100 videos, me sitting down in front of the camera talking. It's because, they're kind of boring, and probably should consider doing a challenge video. I see them so many, I woke up at 5 a.m., 30 days in a straight. Here's why. These kind of videos, they're good. Okay, they're good. And you can create a storyline on them, like the Ryan Trahan stuff, right? His challenge was to visit 50 Airbnbs in 50 different states in 50 days. It's a great challenge. He made a new video every single day for 50 days. And I mean, that's the ultimate, right? Create that binge watching experience. That's going to help you get more views. So, okay, I think we drilled in on challenge videos. Yes, we both like them. Yes, they're great, but super hard to make. The next one is DIY. Okay, do it yourself. This would be something if you had a channel. I don't know. It's hard to do DIY for every single niche, but I think there's a way. Like, let's just say you have a basketball training channel. A DIY home basketball court setup. What's your opinion on DIY videos?
I think they can work. The hard thing is, I think it's easy for them to be boring.
Yeah.
Like, because you are just kind of showing like a home maintenance project, for instance. It could be something other than that, but generally that's kind of what I think of.
Yep.
I think the hard part is like, how do you make it interesting? Whereas a challenge video, I think the idea in and of itself is interesting, but like somebody building a deck, is that interesting? Like it could be, but not necessarily. Does the person building the deck have chutzpah? Like, is there a charisma? Like, why are you showing us how to build a deck? You know what I mean? Because I feel like those like tutorial YouTube videos of how to install drywall, like that video is like 16 years old and it's already made. It has to be something special that you're doing, and you probably need a certain amount of like camera presence or storytelling ability to I think really pull it off. So I think I would say fair. Like view potential is fair, decent. It's okay, but not incredible.
Okay. What about, let's go with reaction videos, right? So why don't you first of all just explain what a reaction video is, and then you can give me your opinion on the viewability of that.
So that's kind of a hard one. I think like realistically fair. Like you're gonna do all right with the reaction videos. Some people like I know what XQC. No, what I don't even remember his name. He hasn't been in the news for a while. Blonde guy. He does a lot of reactions. People were giving him shit for like not adding enough to the videos he's reacting to.
Got you.
But like a lot of his content, at least back in the day, was reactions, and he's one of the biggest streamers, and has been one of the biggest streamers, right? So like clearly it works. I think like usually though, there's a lot of people reacting to things, so there's a lot of competition. But the advantage is, if you're like a super tiny channel, you will kind of piggyback off of the notoriety of whatever you're reacting to. So like if you're reacting to I don't know, like a Justin Bieber paparazzi video, like you're kind of riding the coattails of Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's searching for Justin Bieber, they might see you reacting to him. And so that is great for tiny channels. Like you're kind of using bigger names to get attention. The bad news is a lot of people are doing it. Also, copyright can be a big issue. Like you might get copyright claimed. So I'm going to say fair. I think it's like decent. You'll probably get some attention, but you probably aren't going to explode.
Yep, I would agree with that. And I would say kind of the pros of reaction videos is they're super easy to make, right? So you could probably make like a reaction video almost every single day, and they don't take too much time, right? You're just sitting down, hitting record, and reacting to what you see. So there's a lot of channels out there that are huge reaction channels, but I don't know. I do support the idea though, because there's always something new you can react to. You're not coming up with topics out of thin air and all that kind of stuff. So definitely something to try if you've never tried one, test it out. Maybe your audience likes it and it does end up getting a lot of views. All right. The next one would be prank video.
How dare you ask about prank videos? Oh my God. Like, yeah, if you can come up with one, like, great. I feel like it's hard to keep it going. Like, how do you keep it interesting indefinitely while not being a complete it's totally possible. I know there are channels who do it. I just think it's pretty hard, like that level of creativity, and like kindness, like to not constantly be immersed in controversy while making it big with prank videos. I'm gonna give this one a fair rating, just decent. It's okay. If you're really creative, great. If you can really tell the story of this prank, great. But it's mid. It's mid.
Yeah, I would disagree as far as just I think high viewability. I think prank videos normally do well, and they're entertaining, and they get the watch time and the clicks. But I agree with you completely about. I mean, you could do like one or two, like to keep it going. It's pretty challenging, and some people do like. But most people that watch these podcasts of us is business owners, so it's like, how are you going to do a whole YouTube channel doing pranks for a business? But if you do have a location and a staff, you could probably do some pretty cool content just with your staff and do like little mini pranks, right? Like some little funny things
Mm-hmm.
with your staff. But definitely something to try out. I mean, they're viral. Those are people share those and all that kind of stuff. Okay, next one is tutorial videos. Grant, what's your opinion on tutorial videos?
I'm gonna say no. Like, don't make tutorial video unless like it's something very specific, and you're like, I'm just saying don't rely on them. I think totally if you're like, hey, I bought the new iPhone and I'm having this really specific problem and like this is how to like fix it in the user interface. Like that's a great tutorial. I think if you're going to base a whole channel around that, like I wouldn't recommend it. I just think it's hard to have a niche that is like narrow but also wide enough in tutorials to really make an impact. Like I think you're kind of like you're either going to have a bunch of random unrelated tutorial videos, or you're going to be like so hyper focused on like you know iphone iPhone X tutorials, how to fix XYZ. Like it just I think that's going to be hard. Are you talking more like the education space, or because I'm imagining how to tie a tie kind of tutorials?
I guess that's a good question. What's the difference between like a beauty tutorial where you're teaching someone how to do their makeup and an education video? To me, it's the same. So I would say it's the same, but I would agree with you on like the virality of those kind of videos are slim to none. I think that's probably the most common types of video on YouTube. I think that's how YouTube started. I think everybody was going and creating tutorial how-to videos. And I think at this point it's super competitive. But at the same time, if you are a business, then it makes a lot of sense to create, how to X. So when someone actually searches on YouTube, how to X, and they find your video, they're a client, right? They could be a client, a customer for you because they have that pain point and you just give them value and solved it. But I think in these days, you need to do something a little bit different. If you are a tutorial channel, that's fine. But like, you got to experiment a little bit more. You can't be just a tutorial channel. You need to do some street interviews. You need to do some podcast interviews. You need to try some vlog content because just straight up tutorials are kind of boring.
Agreed.
Okay. I want to put a little caveat here. Like, we're not talking about like creating a whole channel about, pranks or challenge videos. Like, you can mix it up, right? Like, you can have a YouTube channel. As long as you stay in the same niche, I think you're fine. Right. So as long as your prank video and your challenge video and your tutorial video and your other video are all kind of related to the same niche, then you're fine. Because it's, your videos are going to be served to people of your audience that are interested in some sort of topic and they're looking to get that from you. So next one, and maybe this is just a one video, but would you recommend it? Like a home studio tour, a house tour, room tour, office tour. What about that?
I'd say yes if it's a part of like your personal lore. Like if you're the face of the channel and your goal is to like introduce people into your universe, perhaps because you like sharing it, you like talking about it, but also like to introduce your audience to like that extra level of intimacy of like, this is where I work. This is where I watch TV. You know what I mean? Like, I think if that's the vibe of your channel, then great. And I think usually the biggest YouTube channels are centered around like a central face, a central personality, and that feels like it's tapping into that. So I think as long as it's like, as long as it fits neatly into your personal lore, in the personality of the channel, then yeah, I think that's great content. People like it. Stuff like that. If you have a Patreon, you can also kind of like add. That's also good, like paywall content. That's the word. Like put it behind a paywall. At least some of it, maybe not all of it. You know what I mean? That kind of extra layer of like, this is my life. Most people don't know this.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it makes sense to me because like you're trying to like build that parasocial relationship with your viewers, right? Where you're trying to build that where they feel like they know you and you know them, they know, like, and trust you. And that's the reason they're tuning in. So like giving them the inside look of like, hey, this is where I live. You're only going to build more trust and create bigger fans that want to tune in more. So I'm good with that. I don't think that's going to be your most viral video, and I don't think it's going to get a ton of views. But I think it's, one of those ones where maybe somebody watches 3 or 4 videos on your channel and then they log off, and the next time they open up the app, that one gets recommended to them and they click on it and watch it and consume it and enjoy it and dive deeper into their kind of fanship of you. Then it's good money, I think. I mean, here's the thing, guys. If you have a YouTube channel for long enough, you're going to go through every topic that you think is under the sun that you could possibly talk about it. Then you're going to go back and you're going to do the same topics a couple more times. So, having a vlog here and there, having a, home tour to kind of mix it up and build the relationship more, it's not going to hurt you. Would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I'm sure, Grant, I'm sure you felt that too, where you're like, well, I want to make a video about this, but I already made that. Or I want to make about this, but I already made that. I don't know about you, but like for my basketball training channel, like, boy, there's only so many things you can talk about,
Yeah. No, I could totally see that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's talk about this next kind of format or topic. These are more formats, I would say, but like list video, like a listicle. Like, do you like the idea of a listicle video, 8 ways to do X?
I think it totally works. Again, this is another kind of YouTube gold standard kind of video. 10 different ways to put on eyeliner, like whatever it is. Top 10 facts about Nicolas Cage. Like these are all completely valid, solid video ideas. I would say high potential for views, at least decent potential. Like this is tried and true. I think there's also a lot of wiggle room with what you can do with this idea. Like you can bring all kinds of personality to this idea. You can host a very normal feeling video. Yeah, I'm going to say these listicle type videos are great. Top 10 craziest moments in Harry Potter. Like, who cares? Like, whatever you think is interesting. Top 10, top 7. Like, do it. It works. It's fun. Yeah.
And also, I think it's kind of like an easy way to do it, like an easy video topic, right? Because all you got to do is, write it down, a list of 10 things, and then start knocking them out in your video. And I heard Ali Abdaal say that's how he does all his scripts. Is he just does lists. It's just a list, and he's going to go through the list in the video and talk about each thing. And sounds pretty easy to me. So, all right, next one. Let's call this news/opinion video. So you're talking about something, maybe it's news a lot of times, and you're giving your opinion on it, taking a side. What do you think about that kind of topic?
I think news, if you're naturally tuned into the news and it's effortless for you to follow it, like you just do that naturally and you don't mind pressing record and just blurting out your opinion. I think that's a totally valid way to grow a YouTube channel. I think that has decent potential. The hard part about news is stories live and die very quickly. Like if you get a video out a day late, it might not be getting views. You know what I mean? Like it's the news turnover so fast now. So that's the challenge of it. But if you can just hit record and like, if you can quickly turn around videos, then yeah, I think it's a great way to build a channel. But you really have to keep in mind the pace of the news cycle. So as long as you can do that, it's a great idea. Mm-hmm.
And I think you also have to be willing to be opinionated. Like I'm not quite like that, I don't really publish my political beliefs too much and stuff. And I think if you're going to do an opinion video, then you got to be really polarizing. You got to really take a side and you got to really throw rocks at the other side. And that will create a really good video and blow up your comment section too. So
blow it up.
Yeah, that's my take. Okay.
Yeah.
Next type of video topic. And remember, we're talking about just somebody who's got a YouTube channel and they're trying to come up with a new format, a new video just for the next video. Maybe not to adopt this style for all their content, but they just want to kind of try it out. And the next one is product review. What do you think about a product review video?
I mean, I don't recommend it. Like, I'm going to say low potential. And here's why. I'm not saying don't do it, but you have to keep all these things in mind. Okay. The first thing is product review. You have to actually get the product to review it. So like, there's a lot of competition in this space. So like literally every video, you have to buy a new product, or like you could maybe abuse the Amazon return policy, you know, but like it's a whole thing that you have to deal with. And again, lots of competition. So unless you have a niche that is very specific that you are super into, I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's hard to get noticed. I think it's just hard to have that many products. I don't recommend it. Hopefully that makes sense. Just buying a product every time, it's hard. Unless it's, again, a really specific niche where it's kind of cheap or you can afford it. Maybe you have special access to these things. That could really work. But otherwise, it's kind of hard. It's hard to grow.
Well, I do agree, Grant, that it's hard to create a channel that's completely product review based. Like you said, like getting new products all the time. But what about just, throwing a product review video in there every now and then that's related to your niche? Would you recommend that or not recommend that?
I think that kind of is the best of both worlds. A little bit of compromise there. I think, I would give that a thumbs up.
Okay. Yeah, and I would agree. I do like product review videos because I feel like they're fairly evergreen. It just kind of depends on what kind of product you're talking about. But, there's always going to be people looking up for a tutorial on the Canon M6 Mark II camera or whatever. And if you make a good product review of that, they'll find it and they'll watch it and you'll get that view. I think of channels like Think Media, who are, one of the biggest, how to create a YouTube channel. They're like probably 30% product review, and we're talking about microphone review, camera review, lens review, lighting review, whatever in the YouTube space. And then 70% of just other type of content. And I think their product review videos do well. And I've heard Sean Cannell, the founder there, talk about how their YouTube channel gets most of their views from search, which is not common for large YouTube channels. They're mostly getting their views from browse, which is the algorithm recommending it. And I heard him say that, they get a ton of search views, and it's because they're doing product reviews, or their channel's kind of based on product reviews. So I do like the idea of product reviews for your niche. Give me one, Grant. What's a niche where there's a lot of products?
I mean, phones. Like, if you work for like AT&T and you got access to all these phones, like that's your niche, baby.
Yeah, review those phones. Yeah, something like that.
Review those phones.
But even like basketball. Okay, let's go to the basketball niche, right? You could review shoes, right? There's a lot of good channels that all they do is review basketball shoes, and you could review different basketballs. You could review different gyms or different pickup runs. But anyways, I think sprinkling in review videos is great. I know there's a client that I worked with recently. His channel is kind of like mindset, wellness, a little bit of exercise and running. But his best video is actually like a review of a watch, like a Garmin watch that you use for like running and stuff, kind of like a health wearable. And that's his best video. And I keep telling him like, hey, you need to try to figure out what the next product you're going to review is. I'm sure it's going to do well. But yeah, I think the moral to the story is, if you think you can create a valuable video, then go for it. If not, then don't. So, all right, here's the next one, Grant. Story time. Now, these are the type of videos where you hit record and it's a talking head video and you're telling a story about something that happens. What's your opinion on that?
I think it's a great idea. I think they tend to be low effort if you're good at storytelling. And as long as you got interesting stories, like it's a timeless art. Like literally, it's the oldest art form, storytelling. So if you can turn on the camera, tell a story, do it. It does well on YouTube. Like it will never go out of style. It's always been in style. They're easy to make. So, or at least like low effort editing, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be very minimal editing, if any. Yeah, I'm into it.
Okay. So what kind of viewership you think you're going to get on a video like that? Kind of viral score can you give it?
Viral score, I'm gonna
Good stuff.
say high potential.
Oh wow.
High potential. Yeah. Again, this you have to have a good
Yeah.
story and be a good storyteller. Like that is key, but like high potential, absolutely. Um, I'm not gonna put it on like maximum where we're not going 100%. I'd say like, 80% potential. I think the hard thing you would probably see in that space, like one story in particular gets a ton of views, and then your other ones are like kind of middling more. I think that's kind of what I would expect, and that tends to be what I see with channels like that. But it has good potential. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's like not work intensive to make these videos, so like that is a huge plus.
Okay. Talking about work intensive videos. What's your opinion on vlogs?
Hmm. Hmm. So I feel like vlogging is dead right now. I'm not saying it will always be dead, but like I, d- I don't know. I don't hear much about vloggers. I don't. Is there? I know there's people making vlogs and like it's a thing, but like in 2016, 2017, it felt like vlogs were like the biggest thing
Yeah.
on YouTube. They were like the most important thing. They were kind of cutting edge. They were hip. They were cool. Now vlogs are. I think they're like they're around, but I think there are a lot of work to make. I think it's hard to stand out. I think vlogging actually is like ready for a
Yeah.
revolution. So in that sense, high potential. But if you're just gonna kind of like make a vlog like everybody else's vlog, and you're gonna try to romanticize your life and pretend you're happier than you are, and like it's not gonna work. Like it doesn't work anymore. Nobody's buying it, or if they do, just not enough people buy it now. It just so unless you're gonna like be the I don't know, the Michelangelo of vlogs. I mean, that's a lot to live up to, but you know what I mean. Unless you're gonna like really do something different, I don't recommend vlogs. Again, they're a lot of work. It's a lot of footage to cut down.
Hmm.
It's not easy to make a vlog flow well and to make it interesting and entertaining. You obviously also have to be doing fun things in the
Yep.
video. So like I generally am not going to recommend it except for that really specific, like highly creative person who is willing to go outside and have people see them talking to a camera out in the wild.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with the part too you said about like there's going to be a revolution of vlogs. Like I think vlogs are like going to get really popular on YouTube again and then go away again. And then they're going to get really popular on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
again and they're going to go away again. I think it's just like the flow that's going to happen because
Mm-hmm.
that's what we've seen
I
so
agree.
far. Like Casey Neistat did it, got really popular. Then they kind of went away. And Logan Paul came out, a bunch of those kind of type of influencers, Jake Paul, those all those types started doing it, got really popular. Then it kind of went away again. And I guess I would say I've seen it come back. And now when it comes back, it's more of like, I would say not so much like day in the life, like what a typical vlogs were. Day in the life. This is what I do on a normal basis. Come along with me. It's more like 30 minutes of my day that I'm turning into a really good vlog with cinematic shots and something's happening. And then that's it. And then that's the vlog. It's like a 30-minute of their day because you can't. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my vlog. First thing I'm gonna do is go brush my teeth. Then I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna do this. And at some point in the video, there's something that's entertaining. Like, no, people are gonna click away. They're not gonna like it. But if you're like, boom, starting off, hey, here I'm at the doctor's right now. I'm about to get my tonsils removed. And then you have like a 30, a session where that happens. You make a video. I think that could work. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but I'd agree with you. If someone came to me and they said, hey, should I start vlogging? I would say, no, do a challenge video. I think you got it.
Yeah, I agree. A challenge video is like the cousin of the vlog,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It's like a vlog with a point, A vlog can have a point, but boy, is it hard to make a vlog with a point.
Oh, I've made some bad
challenge video, the point's right there.
Yep.
It's in the title. You know what it's about.
And like another common like YouTuber tip is like to have a payoff, right? At the end of the video, there should be like a quote unquote payoff. You'll hear people talking about that. So it's like something that you're waiting for the entire time in the video that you finally get revealed at the end. If you can do that in a vlog, then great, you got a chance. But other than that, no one really cares about your day in the life unless you are Mr. Beast. You know, we're talking about normal people here, but okay. I mean, that's all the different topics I kind of wanted to spitball on and brainstorm on. I think, you know, me as a creator, if I'm sitting down listening to this episode right now, I've definitely got some new ideas that popped up in my head, and you can only experiment, you know, try it out, and who knows, you might, you know, discover something and all of a sudden go viral. So any other final thoughts, Grant, before we shut this one down?
Just that obviously we gave our opinions, and ultimately, like, if something feels aligned with you, just do it, and like always be willing to tweak your own ideas, take criticism, but also like hold your vision. Like, you don't want to compromise too much, right? Like, this is all just our opinions. Like, you know, if you want to make vlogs and you don't like what I said about vlogs, then you should give me the finger and you should do what you want. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, whatever you're most comfortable with. The whole point is that you do press record and you do hit publish after that, and there you go. Now you're creating content. That's the main thing. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe. If you're listening on an audio platform, you can hit the follow button on those and follow us there as well. My name is Augie Johnston, here with my co-host Grant Ball. This is the Video Creator Show, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.